we're going to start with just showing you two greens here. There's a lower chroma green, chromium oxide green, and a higher chroma phthalo green. And by the way, this is phthalo green yellow shade, which is designated by a YS on the tube. Both of these are single pigment colors. There's just one pigment in them. So it's the pigment itself that we're talking about that is high chroma, low chroma. It's its own, has its own characteristics. Now we're going to talk about mixing some different levels of saturation. We're going to use some reds to do that. So I have, we're going to use this quinacridone crimson, and I'll squeeze some out there. Okay, and cadmium red light. Whoops, now this is the soft body. See how runny that is? But I just wanted to show two different, a warmer kind of lighter red. Now one thing you can do, this is, to me this was just a really fun revelation when I first started mixing color. It's actually really fun to mix two in the same family together. So if you want to lighten a red, I would always see, can I lighten it with another red first? Because if you add white, what do you get? Pink, right? And you don't want pink, you want a lighter red, right? So if you've got another red in your kit, now that's starting to make sense. This cadmium red light looks a bit like orange, doesn't it? But it's actually called cadmium red light. Okay, so that's one way. Now still these have the same chroma or saturation. What if we want to bring it down a little bit, make it less intense? Does anyone know what you might do in that instance? What would be your... Add some brown. Add some brown. Add the opposite on the color wheel. Any other ideas?
Come on, people. Down the river. I never know.
Green. Green. Why green?
It's the opposite.
Yes. So it's opposite on the color wheel. Let's take a look at the color wheel here. If you can get that on the camera, can you zoom in on this here? Okay. So here's your color wheel. Anytime you mix across the color, you're making a neutral. So you get brown. So all the answers were right. They were all different ways of saying the same thing. So if we add brown, we're making the color more neutral. Because by mixing the two, you'll actually get a brown, right? But you cannot, it's degrees. So I'm going to show you how to subtly lower the chroma and not take it into all the way into making it a brown, a complete neutral. So the reason someone answered add green is because opposite red on the color wheel is green. So what if we wanted to take a really high key yellow and make it a little more low key? What would we add? Purple. Purple, because it's directly opposite on the color wheel. That is, to me, the magic of the color wheel. I'm not a big, huge color theory person. I have a very intuitive approach to color. Maybe color mixing is easier for me. I don't know, but I don't get all into this split complementaries and blah, blah, blah. But that piece of knowledge has helped me forever. I've been painting for probably 30 years now, and that is something I think about to this day. And it helped me in the beginning. Anytime I mixed a shadow color, anytime I was trying to do a landscape or a figure or anything, that knowledge was really core and really important. So we're going to just take, actually since we have this color already, why don't we tone it down? And since we have some green, I'll take a little bit of this phthalo green. Now this is a very, very high chroma color, so I could be killing it. Yes, scary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, anytime you get into a phthalo, start like with a minute amount. So I took the little bit on the knife and took about 2/3 of it off, and I'm going to take that and mix it in.
Michelle, I like to say phthalo was the new black because it's so intense.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
Okay, so do you see, now that's super subtle. I actually kind of like it. Do you see what's happening here? Can you tell from where you're sitting? If you're far away, you might not be able to tell. Do you see a difference?
Oh, yeah.
If you're sitting over there, you can't see it all, right? Yeah. There Okay.
It's really lowered it.
Yeah, subtle, right?
Subtle, very subtle though.
But let's just say, oh, can you be our demonstrator? All right, just stand right here. All right. So what's your name? Tiffany. Tiffany. She has these amazing colors on right now. Say she was our model for today in the class. And we wanted to get, we've got this orange, right? And we need to paint the shadows in her scarf. Now there's subtler shadows, like on that side, and then there's the deep shadow, which is sometimes called the core of the shadow, and then there's the highlights. We wanted to just get that subtler shadow. Can you see how that might work? Just adding a little bit of that, okay? So now we're going to add more. Thank you very much. Give her a hand. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more and make it that much more obvious. And now we're lowering even further the chroma of that. Do you see that? And sometimes when I mix, I like to, can you see almost like this is, it's kind of, I didn't plan this in advance. If I was really careful, I might have, but like, pretend this is a cube, right? And there's your shadow side, and there's the side the sun's hitting. Can you see it? That's the magic of color. It's so cool. Just a little tiny bit of color will give you a sense of three-dimensionality, you know? So, let's see. Any questions about this? Do you want to see some more mixing?
Yes.
More mixing.
What can I do? What can I show you guys?
Yellow.
Yellow? We want to take the chroma down on a yellow? Okay, let's start. Okay. So, we'll end this video. This will be another video.
Should we do it on another canvas?
Yeah, I've got this whole